Hi friends, I'm Sherry and this is Gardening in the North, and today we are going to be talking seeds. Now, that is probably everyone's favorite topic. I know it's one of mine. It's that time of year where you're going to be pulling out your seed collection, you're going to be mapping out what your garden's going to look like, and then you're going to be browsing the many online seed companies that are out there to find unique things that you want to grow this year, new things to you, and replacement seeds as well. So I wanted to share with you a couple orders that I've received. I ordered from Baker Creek, which is an American company, as well as the Incredible Seed Company, which is a Canadian company that is located in Nova Scotia. So I'm not going to share the whole seed orders with you. What I'm going to share with you are the new tomato seeds that I received that are new to me. There are 8 of them. And then I want to share with you what I'm going to be planting in my tea garden. One of the things that I wanted to do this year in the garden was to build 4 new beds. So I want to build them right here, about 4 feet away from the current 4 beds that I have here. If you followed along, you know that the back 2 I planted asparagus in. The front 2 I did strawberries initially. However, one of them didn't take, and I have since then planted a whole bunch of lettuce for last year, onions from last year, and some chamomile. So in front of those beds, I'm going to be doing 4 beds that are about 6 feet by 2.5 feet. And they are going to be strictly for tomatoes. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to share with you the new tomato seeds that I'm growing this year. I haven't decided which other varieties that I want to grow this year. I'm still in the process of building out my map for my garden. And for those of you that do that, you know that you start off with a rough idea and it easily changes over the course of 2 months. So I'm not going to share that with you quite yet, but what I am going to share with you are the new tomato seeds. So the first one from Baker Creek is indigo blue chocolate, and the look of it reminds me of a chocolate cherry, which is one of my favorite. This one here says that it is an intermediate heirloom, sweet and juicy, with a black skin. So I'm really excited to try this one. The next one is the apricot zebra. And so it's an orange cherry. It has some lighter orange coloring on it. And I think I ordered this one mainly because I thought it was a really pretty orange color. Yeah, so it's a stunning, richly tangerine colored cherry with a unique appearance as the lime green shoulders and extra fine green striping of an unripe fruit morphs to brilliant yellow at maturity. So I just thought this one would look really pretty in the garden. The next one from Baker Creek still is Queen of the Night, and it is a cherry as well. It has dark skin with some orange and yellow on it. And so I'm just going to show you this one because it is exceptionally beautiful. And so I'm gonna add this one to the garden. One, because those of you that know me know that cherries are my favorite tomatoes to grow. I like a slicer, but really it's the cherries that I love. I love having a tomato sandwich, but I find that having cherry tomatoes are so much more versatile in my kitchen when I'm making dinner that I prefer them. And so this one here says this is a salad type, which I love putting fresh tomatoes in my salad, and not slicers. I really don't like getting a mouthful of tomato in my salad. And I love tomato, but I like having a sweet, juicy pop of flavor throughout the salad as opposed to a big piece of tomato. So this one here goes, this is a 3 to 3.5 ounce, and it has the brush strokes of indigo on its shoulders, as I showed you. So now, for those of you that have never ordered from the Incredible Seed Company, this was my first time. And I mean, on appearance, I would say that Baker Creek has nicer packaging, because sometimes when I order from companies that don't show you what the actual fruit looks like, I'm always constantly looking online to see what it looks like, to see where I'm going to plant it. And so the Baker Creek packaging is a lot easier for me to decide where I'm going to plant stuff. But what I will say about the Incredible Seed Company is that they arrived very quickly, and they had some really unique seeds, not just tomato seeds, but you know, all across the whole board. And I ordered a lot of seeds for my tea garden. So I just found that they had more of a diverse selection. So the first one that I'm going to share with you from the Incredible Seed Company is Yellow Gooseberry. So it is a new favorite of the Incredible Seed Company. They produce small to medium tomatoes and in abundance. And so that was one of the things that drew me to this one, as well as the fact that it's yellow. So I tried to grow many colors of tomatoes in my garden, because one of the things that I absolutely love is having a bowl of cherry tomatoes on my counter. And I love it when people come over and they can pick and choose the different kinds they want, just like a box of chocolates. So the next one is Sasha Altai. I'm probably butchering that. But this one here is, let me see here. The print isn't great. It's amazing flavor, texture. It produces early, which is one of the things that I really like. And it is a snacking salad tomato. So that's good. The Gold Nugget, I don't know if any of you have ever grown this one. It's sweet and tangy, and it is also a yellow cherry tomato. Okay, Amy Sugar Gem, which is also a cherry tomato, and it grows about 6 feet tall, noticeably frost resistant, which is the other reason why I picked this one. Let me see here. Full of flavor. The taste is sweet and well balanced. And then we have the red pear. So for those of you, again, who have been following along with this gardening journey over the past, 4 years, you know that one of my favorite tomatoes, which was a staple in my garden for roughly 6 years, was the yellow pear. And I have mentioned it before that all of a sudden the seeds that I was purchasing and growing, those tomatoes were splitting, and I tried my hardest to get out into the garden and collect them or harvest them as fast as I could when I thought that they could be harvested, and they were still splitting on me. And so I just found that to be a bit of a pain in my butt, because I don't always have the time to run out on demand of the garden, right? And so sometimes I want to go, or sometimes I only have time to go out there when I have time to go out there. And so I switched over to chocolate pear last year, or not switched, in addition to the yellow pear, I did chocolate pear. And I have to say that the chocolate pear was 100 times better than the yellow pear for flavor. It was so sweet. It was like having candy out in my garden. So this one here is a red pear. And so I'm really curious to see how this one is going to do in my garden. So this one says, grows into large healthy plants covered in hundreds of small bright red pear-shaped fruit. The fruit is sweet and unique and popular in shape. So I'm excited about this one. The second thing that I want to do this year in my garden is to build a tea garden. And so last year I used some of these beds that you see here for my tomato plants. But with the additional 4 beds that I'm going to be building, I'll be able to free up some space in those boxes to add in some of my tea herbs that I want to grow. But in addition to that, I want to build 2 additional beds that are gonna go here and here. And those beds are going to be strictly for herbs that I want to grow in order to create the blends that I want to enjoy. And so I am going to be heavy on the herbs this year. So I'm going to start with Baker Creek again. I have written down a bunch of notes because let's be honest here, a gardener can't remember everything, and I'm often looking up on the internet the same thing. So I've made some notes in my journal, my gardening planner here, so that when I'm planning out how I want the garden beds to look, I know which herbs I'm going to grow together, because some herbs need more space than others, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the best out of those beds for my tea garden. So the first that I'm going to start with is Baker Creek, like I said, but I am doing a Callaway Golden Chamomile tea or flower, and it is a perennial in zones 3 to 7. So it's really important for me because I'm in zone 5B, and anything that can come back again the following year is really important when you want to grow a tea garden, because this way I only have to plant the seeds once and those plants should come back up. So I thought that the yellow chamomile would look really pretty in your tea blends with the white and yellow flowers as well. So of course I'm going to be doing lavender. I don't know if you can see behind me here, this rock wall that I have. So right behind the rock wall, it's a bit of an incline that leads up to my garden, and I think you can see my tractor right around here. And so all along that rock wall, and it's about 120 feet wide, I am going to be growing, and I don't have these seeds right now, they're on the way, but I'm going to be growing blue butterfly pea. Now that's a vining plant, and that's going to grow over top of and come in front to grow over top of those stones, and then right behind them is going to be my lavender. And I thought that that would just add such a beautiful look to that rock wall, but it's also going to be a tea garden area, so I'm really excited about that. Now behind the lavender, I am going to be planting clover. So I have the crimson clover here, and I believe from last year I have red clover in my seed collection that I'm going to have to pull out. But this is going to go behind the lavender because crimson clover is really good for you. And I'm again just going to look here. So it's caffeine free if you want to put it in your tea. So it's also a nitrogen fixer, and because behind that rock wall is all new soil, I want to make sure that I'm putting stuff in there that has a lot of roots. That's that is going to kind of hold it together. The other thing that this is really good for is anyone that's going through menopause. These flowers in your tea will help with hot flashes. So I just wanted to share that with you in case any of you are looking for a herbal remedy to alleviate a little bit of that heat that you get. From the Incredible Seed Company, I got rosemary. Now, I just think that rosemary is a wonderful herb. I love the smell of it as well as the taste of it. I got the classic romantic bachelor buttons, which the flowers are edible, so I thought that this would make a great addition to teas as well as salads, add a little bit of color. I got anise hyssop. Now the flowers are edible, and I'm again just looking at my book here on my notes that I wrote down. It has a bit of a black licorice taste, and they are perennial, which is awesome. So this reduces fevers and relieves congestion and eases coughing. So this is going to make a great tea for someone who has a wintertime cold, or I guess a cold at any time. Then I got common mint, and so common mint is, the leaves are edible. It is a perennial, and like any other mint, it probably is going to be very invasive if I let it go. But quite honestly, I'm gonna be okay with that because a lot of different tea blends that you make has some type of mint in it. And so let me just make sure here. So this one here may improve irritable bowel syndrome, relieves indigestion, and it also can mask bad breath. So the next one is the crimson clover, which I mentioned that I also got from Baker Creek. I just thought it would be good to have the same seeds from another company. Then I got Racina calendula, and this is an annual, and it is not for women who are pregnant. So if you are pregnant or you know someone who's pregnant, you do not want to give this to them. This is a natural anti-inflammatory. It's mildly sweet, and it pairs really well with rose hips is what I have down. So I got 2 of these. I also got the Roman chamomile, which is different from the Callaway golden chamomile. And so this one here is also a perennial. It's soothing, calming, stress relief. It has a gentle and floral, slightly sweet with a hint of apple taste. And so this is definitely going to be going in a lot of my teas. The next one is borage. So this one here for me in 5B is an annual, and you can eat the leaves and the flowers. And so this one here soothes cough symptoms. It's lightly sweet with a crisp freshness, and has a cucumber infused water taste. So I'm really excited to try this one in my teas. And then of course I got 2 more packs of the Old English lavender, which again is going to go up on that rock wall. This is calming and reduces stress. It has a spicy floral flavor with a hint of lemon to it. So this is going to be a lot of fun trying to mix all of these herbs with, you know, the herbs that I currently have from last year's garden to make wonderful blends that I can share with family and friends. So hopefully some of these seeds are of interest to you. If you are a tea gardener, please leave me some comments down below. Let me know what your favorite herb is to grow if I haven't mentioned it. Let me know what it is and where you got your seeds, because I am interested in all the things to do with a tea garden. Thanks for spending your time.